What's up, guys? I have been considering doing this for a little while now, and that is traditional reviews of products that don't tend to have traditional reviews for. There's a lot of products out there that we talk about, that we show on the show, that you might not necessarily have seen a review for. There might not necessarily be a review for. So without further ado, the first one that I'm going to tackle is the Art&Mod Evo right here, and I've had this Evo for a while. This is one of 5 that I have had. I guess really the best way to start is to bring it down to the desk and kind of walk you guys through how it works and all of that stuff, and then from there we can come back up and chat about it. So let's go down to the desk. I don't blow big enough clouds to make the shit disappear. So here we have the Art&Mod Evo down on the desk, and I will bring it up to give you guys a close-up of this guy. It's a wood door, steel faceplate and bottom, rounded back, takes an 8.5 ml bottle. Now let's get an internal shot on this as well. There's the battery. You can pop off the battery with a quick hit of the hand, and access to the bottle. I've learned when the battery is in, if you want to get rid of the bottle, you can just use this piece, pop it out, like so. Let's break down all the pieces. Take off that. So, this is an older model of the Evo. The new ones all have flush 510s like the new SVAs. This has the SVA Replaceable Cup System. 1 second and we will take this guy off. These are on pretty tight. I have a pair of rubber pliers that I can use. This is an 18mm SVA cup. This does not come with the Evo standard. It will come with the 22, which is this one right here, which screws on like so. Boom, 22mm for any of your 22mm addies. And this one in this little baggie, which is for 14mm addies. Screws on like so. It gives you a nice little catch cup for your 14mm addies. It looks pretty good. 22mm addies are most drippers. A 14 would be like the Hellfire Viper V2 right here. So I'm going to put the 18mm ring back on because I have the Origin Tiny, which is a 16mm Squonker, and I quite like this little 18mm ring. You will notice that there's an O-ring underneath there. This entire 510 assembly will come out, and it is adjustable for your pen. It's actually incredibly adjustable, probably one of the most adjustable 510s I've ever used. Screw that on nice and tight. Screw our addy back on to the top. Like so. We take our bottle, we slide our bottle up and in. Now if it's a brand new bottle, it might take a few attempts to kind of get it up in there, just because it can be a little rough. And then we will take and pop our battery in. Now this is very important. The battery goes in upside down, just like I hold this mod wrong, and I'll explain that later. Battery goes in upside down. So, and you can pop on the magnetic bottom plate, pop on your wood plate, and you are all set, ready to go. That is the Art&Mod Evo. And as you can see, and I'll take actual measurements and give them to you when we go back up, it's quite small in the hand. Like, that is a small mod. It comes in this box as well. That's probably worth noting. It's just a nice little padded box. I have never had one of these brand new, so I don't know what all's included other than the 22 and 14mm caps. That's all that I know comes with them. I assume some spares as well. So, on that note, let's go back up to the top. Welcome back. So for this section, we are going to take some measurements and we're going to talk about general feelings for this mod. I've had it for a very long time now, and it's worth having a chat about. So, let's get some sizes here first. Let me zero my calipers, and let's see, we'll do millimeters. It is 49.53 millimeters long, 25.44 millimeters wide, and 81.39 millimeters tall. Bam. So it's tiny, and it's not just that it's exceptionally tiny. It's exceptionally tiny for what's in it. Because to give you an example, the JMFD, which is probably my favorite my favorite non-Squonk mod, is a very tiny mod. When you put it next to the Art&Mod, it's smaller, yes, but this has an 8.5 ml bottle in the bottom of it, and it's not that much smaller for this to have an 8.5 ml bottle in it. So this is properly small, ergonomic, comfortable, and beautiful. This has probably been my favorite mod for several months now. I'll say this, I don't think any other device has had this big of an impact on how I vape since the K-Fun and DNA 20. That completely changed how I vaped. It was a complete, world-changing thing for me in how I vaped. And I feel the same about this particular Squonker, because I have tried Squonking 4 times, and I never stuck with it until I got one of these. Now, this was not the one that I had gotten. I have had 5 now. I have been through 5 basically on my quest to get this natural one. I had one of the acrylic ones. I had a purple one. I had this natural one. I had a black and white acrylic one, and I had an orange and purple wooden one, stabilized wood one. So he makes them in all different materials, all different colors. I personally am a big fan of natural. This is the one downside that I will say about this product. And when I say this, you have to bear in mind that they're handmade. So each one is made by hand by a guy, Alessandro, who's a very good guy. Every one that I've had has been a little different. Some of them the bottle was very tight in here. Some of them the bottle has a little bit of wiggle. This bottle has a little bit of wiggle. The last one that I had was just a little bit longer than this one, and the battery could shift a little bit. Some of them were spot on, just absolute no movement of any parts anywhere. The buttons have felt a little different on every one. And I understand that as each one progressed, and I've had them at different timelines in the life cycle of this product, they've gotten better and better throughout. But each one does vary a little bit. And it's minor stuff, but it's stuff that I notice. And it's stuff that irritates me. Now, that said, most of those things can be fixed. For instance, the Squonk pin in the bottom, or in the back of mine, that the bottle goes into, had a dab of epoxy sealant from when it was glued into place that had seeped down too far, and it made it very hard to put the bottle on. I took a very small knife and very carefully scraped it off, and now I have no problems. But little issues like that have arisen on 2 of the 5 that I've had, so it's worth noting. All that stuff aside, this mod kind of brings me a lot of happiness. It has very quickly become my favorite mod. It is super functional, and Alessandro is one of those guys who just cares so much about the product that he's making, and he really puts his heart and soul into these Squonkers that he makes. And the Italian guys are a lot like that, from what I've understood so far. They really put their heart and soul into this stuff, and they really just pour themselves into their product, and I have nothing bad to say about that. So RRP varies depending on the mod. I think they range from like 400 to 525 ish in US. Because I've gotten them all secondhand, I never got like a full lock on exact RRP, and I think it does depend on the run. But it does vary a little bit. He doesn't make a lot of them. He does have a DNA 75 model coming out, which is the same size as this. This is a DNA 40. So that's worth noting as well. But for the money, I honestly think that if you're interested in squonking and you want what is, in my opinion, the best squonker available, this is the one. This is the best squonker available right now, that is made, that is sold, that you can get your hands on. I do not think there is anything better. And I have made some stupid trades to get a hold of these, to get a hold of this, and I do not regret those decisions at all. So that said, I will zoom up here and give you one more nice close-up look of my very used, slightly beaten at this point, Art&Mod Evo. And then we will, I guess we can just go ahead and call this a wrap. That's all I got. Peace. Welcome back. So